Have you ever noticed that after something painful happens once, you start expecting it to happen again? You fail one exam and suddenly every exam feels impossible. One rejection letter makes you believe every application will end the same way. One heartbreak makes it difficult to trust again. We spend so much time praying for things to get better, praying for opportunities, we pray for peace, we pray for open doors. Then when those prayers begin to be answered, instead of enjoying them, we start asking, what if it all disappears? And today I want to talk to you guys about the fear of history repeating itself. Hi, welcome back to Coping and Thriving. This is a space where we talk honestly about life, growth, and healing. If you're learning how to cope while still dreaming of thriving, you are in the right place. Hi, my name is Precious, and I am your host. Lately, I've been thinking about something that I don't hear people talk about enough. We spend a lot of time learning how to survive difficult seasons. We learn how to cope with rejection. We learn how to cope with failure. We learn how to cope with disappointment. But what happens when life starts getting better? Nobody really prepares us for that. Sometimes the new challenge isn't surviving. It's learning to trust that the good season doesn't have to end tomorrow. I've been ghost for 2 weeks or so. And the reason is I thought I needed to be going through something to actually have a conversation with you guys. But I realized coping and thriving isn't just about having to cope with life's challenges, but it's also about sharing sometimes having to thrive in those challenges. And sometimes when we're in that season of thriving, because we spent so much time in the coping season, we have this feeling that this is not going to last. Something is bound to actually happen and ruin this whole moment. I realized that Sims say our past shapes our expectations. One thing I've realized is that our minds remember pain very well. If you've experienced disappointment enough times, you start expecting it. Even when things are finally going well, it's almost like your mind says, don't get too excited. This won't last. That's exhausting. Am I right? Because instead of living in the present, you're constantly preparing yourself for literally another disappointment. The fear of letting history repeat itself. That's the topic of the day. What does fear actually look like? Fear isn't always obvious, Sometimes it doesn't look like panic. Sometimes it literally looks so responsible. But underneath it, it's still fear. Just a background. So, back in 2024, I faced academic exclusion. Right? It was a tough season for me, especially the coming year when my appeal was approved and I had lost funding. Now my family had to intervene. The fact that they had to go to extreme measures to pay for my registration so I can go back to school made me say, I don't want history to repeat itself. What happened last year, I don't want it to happen again. And that kind of forced me into this discipline mode. I would wake up every morning, go to school, library, come back late, literally no time for rest, because sometimes fear isn't always obvious. It doesn't come as in am I gonna fail? Am I gonna, it's just something so responsible. You wake up, you are disciplined, you attend your classes, you are constantly studying, you are literally at the library 24 hours. No, that's not possible. But 24/7, right? And that is still fear. I don't want what happened to me last year to happen again. I've seen what that cost to my family, schools have just opened, right? Maybe last semester didn't go the way you hoped. Maybe you failed modules. Maybe your marks weren't what you expected. Now, every assignment feels like proof that you're about to fail again. right? Every test reminds you of last semester. Instead of believing this semester could be different, you're expecting history to repeat itself. And one thing I've also noticed is that people do not see the work we put behind, right? The results usually speak for us. If it's a fail, no one will know if you put in the work, how much work you put in, how much you sacrificed. If you didn't get that job, no one will see the late nights of you preparing for that interview, redoing your CV, researching. They only see the result, and that basically speaks for us. I'm in a situation where I'm basically able to talk for students and entrepreneurs. I'm a new entrepreneur, a business owner. I've learned that business is all about taking risks, and the risk could either go well or it can either go bad or sideways. So for entrepreneurs, maybe you finally started getting clients. Instead of celebrating, you literally start overworking, right? You answer every message immediately. You struggle to rest, not because someone expects you to, but because you're afraid opportunities won't come back. You're working from fear instead of confidence. This actually happened to me a week ago. I had a client, and in my mind, I was like, God entrusted me with this client. I need to do my best work. Imposter syndrome is so real. I got to see how that actually played a role with me starting this business. The thoughts like, am I good enough? Can I deliver the service really, really well? Can she recommend me to other people? Can my name literally grow from this? I started overworking myself, no time to rest. I would update her at every single inconvenience that I would face. And when I was done with the work, I had this feeling like I couldn't ask her, Vele. She's like, were you impressed? Are you okay with it? Are you sure? I'm an overthinker. Naturally, I'm an overthinker. So when I was done with that, I had this thing, did I do it well? Did I deliver it properly? Is she satisfied? Can she come back? Can she recommend me? Did she say I overcharged her for something so little? Thoughts of saying, man, do I fit in here? Am I actually as good as I say I am? And I know a lot of us entrepreneurs, we do that, we face that. We're just like, man, yeah. And that's fear. It doesn't usually come as panic. Well, it is coming as panic in this one, but sometimes it can look so responsible, as in just working late nights, stress eating. Well, we don't see that. Basically just trying to make your clients as satisfied as possible. You basically working from fear instead of confidence. And also job seekers, maybe after months of rejection you finally get an interview, but instead of feeling hopeful, you already preparing yourself for another rejection email. And this does not just work for job seekers. I know some applying to varsities, right? I remember back in 2022 when I was applying to varsities. Yes, when you would get like that conditional offer, everything would just stop, man, oh good. But then when that rejection comes, it just ruins your day. Am I gonna get in? Am I that good enough to be seen by varsities? To be seen by big ones, actually. Is it possible to get into my dream varsity? That the number of rejections probably you get is sort of like you feeling less hopeful, right? And you feel discouraged instead of feeling hopeful. You're literally preparing yourself for another rejection email, right? I can't speak so much on relationships because I'm not an expert there, but I get this. Maybe someone is finally treating you well, right? But because you've been hurt before, You're waiting for the moment everything falls apart. Okay, I can speak a little about it. I was in a relationship, right, where someone once told me that I make it hard for someone to love me. Yes, yeah, they say that I make it hard for someone to love me. And honestly, I can't debate that. It's very much true. I have grown to think that love is earned by works, right? And so it's hard for me to be for someone to convince me that they love me. I need reassurance like every second. And so when I get something that I'm not used to, I'm like, wait a moment. I'm pretty sure I need to prove myself before this could actually become true, right? That happens. I've never been treated differently in relationships. It's just that if you've been hurt, if you've gone through lies and stuff, and you're waiting for the you finally find someone who literally sees you for you, you start waiting for the moment where everything just falls apart. And then I realized something out of all of this, guys. I wasn't reacting to my present in all of this. I was reacting to my past. The fear wasn't coming from what was happening today. It was coming from what happened yesterday. And there's a big difference, because if we allow yesterday to control today, we never actually experience today. I'm a Christian and we're taking it back to the roots. Let's get a faith perspective of this. I don't think fear like this means you lack faith. If you've been hurt before, if you've experienced disappointment, it makes sense that you're cautious, right? But there comes a point where caution can become captivity. If every new opportunity is judged by your last disappointment, you will never fully receive what God is doing now. Faith isn't pretending that nothing bad will ever happen. Faith is trusting that even if life changes, God doesn't. And notice where your fear comes from. Ask yourself, is this fear based on what's happening today or on something that happened before? Don't let one season define every season. Just because last semester was difficult doesn't mean this one will be. Just because one business failed doesn't mean the next one will. Just because one person hurt you doesn't mean the next one will. Learn to receive good things. And I think this is something that some of us need to hear. You need to learn to receive good things. Sometimes we're so busy preparing for disaster that we never celebrate answered prayers. Celebrate the little win. Rest, man. Be grateful. Those ain't signs of laziness. They are signs that you allowing yourself to live in the present. If there's one thing I hope you remember, it's this. Don't let yesterday's disappointment become tomorrow's expectation. Don't allow your past to convince you that every good thing has an expiration date. The same God who carried you through the hardest season is the same God walking with you in this better one. So instead of spending today worrying about what could go wrong tomorrow, live today, guys. Learn today. Just grow. Trust God today. Because today is a gift. And if you've made it this far, thank you for sticking with me. If this conversation resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever found yourself expecting history to repeat itself, even when life wasn't getting better? Remember, healing isn't just about surviving difficult seasons. Sometimes it's about learning to thrive with good ones. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Keep growing, keep trusting that your past doesn't have to write your future.